And we are live. Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Business Basics series. In this class, you learn all of the basics you need, the basic skills to survive and to flourish in your business. In this lesson, we're going to learn and practice how to brand and sell yourself at work. Uh, You've already read an article, so we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the advice in the article. We're going to read some advice from some other experts, and then we're going to practice the technique of cold calling. The article suggests that we prepare for that. We'll talk about that, and we'll try it out in class. So everyone's going to get a chance to sell themselves in a cold call before the end of this class. Okay? All of that and more coming up in just a moment. Let me do a quick introduction and we will get started. Let's see. There we go. So, I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on that window, the chat window, it'll take you to my profile page where you can click the green button, follow. You'll see all my upcoming group classes, and of course you can schedule a private tutoring class with me. In private tutoring, I'll work with you on a personalized learning plan. So send me a message about that, and I'll find time for you in my schedule. Okay, that's a bit about me. Let's get started with the class. Everyone, take a look at... Let me get this on the screen. Take a look at this. Selling yourself. Okay, so you've got the link if you want to open that on your computer. Let me say hello to some people, especially some new faces. So let me say welcome back first to Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. How are you?
Hi. Hello, how are you? Fine, thank you.
Long time no see. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back from last hour, Mr. Rafa, Mr. Mikkel, Mr. Jose. Thanks
Hello,
for
hello.
coming back, everyone.
Hello.
Excellent. Ms. Rosa, long time no see.
Hello, how are you?
You're from Colombia, right?
No, Spain.
Ah, I thought you were from Colombia for some
Spain.
reason. You were in the class where we were reading about Peru and South America. I remember you were in that class, I think. Anyway, I remember you. I recognize the picture. Hello, Rosa. Welcome back.
Hello.
And who else do we have here? We have Vienna. Hello, Vienna.
Hello, hi.
And where are you from, Vienna?
I'm from Honduras.
You're from, I couldn't hear. Say again, please.
Honduras.
From Honduras. Okay, excellent. Wow, what time is it there? It must be very early.
Yes, it's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's too early, Vienna. Too early.
Yes.
You should be. Are you waking up early, or you haven't gone to bed yet?
Awake.
Oh my God, too early, Vienna. Too early. Well, thanks for joining us. And we've got Mustafa as well. Hello, Mustafa.
Hello.
How are you, Mustafa? Where are you from, Mustafa?
I'm from Egypt.
From Egypt. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. So listen, everyone. I asked if it was possible. I asked you to read the article before class, in the class description, because the article is a little bit long and we don't have time to read the whole thing. We can look at part of it if you like, but I want to focus on actually doing some of what the article suggests. So, first of all, let me go forward here. After the article, a good way to summarize some of what you read is here. So I think it might be a good way for those of you who haven't read the article. You'll get the general idea if we start here. Okay, I want us to talk through this table about some of the advice that you read in the article. Let's say a quick hello to Giancarlo as well, who's joining us now. Hello, Giancarlo. How are you?
Just fine, John. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And also we have who? Fabio. Hello, Fabio. Welcome back.
Hi, John. How are you?
Very good, very good. So listen, for those of you who have read the article already, let's talk our way through this table, and for those of you who haven't read it, you'll get the general idea. And then we're going to try to put that into practice in most of the rest of the class. We're going to do a little bit of analysis too. I want you to see how other people sell themselves and analyze it, give your opinion. Then you're going to try it yourself. Okay? So, let's get started here with this table. For those of you who have already read the article, tell me a do and a don't about LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, which you can see at the bottom. What are some things that we are advised to do, or some things we are advised not to do in these social media platforms? Okay? So, who had a chance to read this article already?
Yes, I have. And LinkedIn talks about the article says that LinkedIn is a very professional site,
Mm-hmm.
and it recommends that we all contact people there, because most of the people that enter into LinkedIn, they are looking for jobs, and they are kind of professional people, something like that. I think so.
Okay, very good, very good. Let me just ask if you use LinkedIn, if everyone knows what it is. So, for example, Rosa, do you have a LinkedIn page with your CV information on it? Do you personally use LinkedIn, Rosa?
No, I don't use LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter do.
Mhm.
I don't use these webs, these social webs.
Yeah, we can also call them, we don't use these social media. We don't use that social media or those services. You call them services too, rather than websites, because they have lots and lots and lots of functions and utilities and programs and things. So we'll call them services. And why do you choose not to use them, Rosa?
Because I don't know. Because I don't like this. I speak with my family and with my friends by mobile phone, and
Right.
this I don't like.
So it's too many people, too much to keep up with, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. And let's talk to another new person here. Vienna, what about you? Do you use these social media services?
Yes, I use it, and I use LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. I think that social page is interesting. You find people with professional, with all the type.
All types of
Yeah.
professional. All types of yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. And have you ever used it to actually look for or get a job or hire somebody? Have you used it in a professional way, or you use it more in a social way?
In now only for social.
For social reasons or social purposes.
Yes.
Okay.
Social reason. Yeah.
Very good. All right, very good. So, let me ask, Rafael, which of these do you think would be the best? Which of these social media services do you think would be the best if you're trying to sell yourself?
I think in this social media, LinkedIn, we are talking about, there are a lot of things to do. You need, it's important to link this web page with another blog that you have on it, on the net. Or also use your proper name for in this way, everyone can find you in the web with your profile, with your activities, with your successful items. And also there are a lot of things that you can do at LinkedIn. You can write about an article that you read, you can recommend a strategy, you can have notice what happened in the world and give your opinion in the LinkedIn, and everyone that is connected to you have to read this article or have the link to this article or this writing that you are doing. And this is important because it's a live social media. It's, you connect with others, and that's good points.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in other words, what you're saying is, beyond the basics, you can also get your opinion out to the world. You're writing an article, get your opinion out to the world, and that will build. This is what I was getting at. That will help build your brand. Good business word. We brand. It'll help build your brand. Rebecca, what do I mean? What do you think I mean by build your brand? I'm talking about a personal brand here.
Create your image.
Create your image, exactly. Exactly. So Raphael was giving us a really good overview of all the things we can do with LinkedIn. He was talking about your web presence. Another good word. Your web presence, he's saying link to your blog, write articles, build your brand that way. Rebecca, which of these three do you think is the best? Same question I asked him. Which do you think is the best for building your brand? Between LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Do you think one of them is superior?
Sorry, say the last word?
Is one of these superior to the others?
Well, I think all of them are good to get that purpose, you know, but I think Facebook is very good to create an image, you know, to build your brand. And nowadays you can see a lot of advertisements on it. So it's because I think Facebook is more used than LinkedIn so far.
Yeah, it seems to still be more popular than the others.
More popular,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the do's and don'ts, because I want you to focus on the language that was used in the article too. So, did anyone else read the article besides Giancarlo? Any other readers?
Yes.
Vico as well? Okay, good. So let's we talked a bit about LinkedIn. I'm going to put a summary in the chat window in just a minute. But Mika, what can you tell us about what the article said about Facebook? What was a do or don't related to Facebook that you remember?
I think the article speaks less about Facebook than the others tools.
It spoke less positively about Facebook.
Maybe I think that the article speaks more about what we don't have to do. What we
shouldn't do.
We shouldn't do in general, and I think that it's speaking about Facebook too, and it's to don't use this kind of tools to create a bad online reputation. For instance,
let me interrupt just for 1 second. Be very careful when you use to. You can't use don't. So instead of saying to don't build a bad reputation, it's not
build a bad reputation. For instance, sharing pictures that are not appropriate to offer a good image.
Absolutely.
No.
And let me put the actual words from the article there so you can see it. This is what it was. This is what you were talking about.
Post photos, yeah. Post or share photos could be post. Yeah, maybe.
Well, you can't share them unless you've posted them first.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but that's it. Post photos that show you in unprofessional situations or dressed. So that's what you were talking about from the article.
Very funny situations or to maybe it could be not very appropriate if you are looking for a job, no, or this speaking about Facebook, yeah, but,
That was about Facebook, yeah.
but for instance, the article explained that LinkedIn could be the best one, the most useful to create a professional network. For instance,
and even beyond that, there was one more thing about the professional network. I'm just going back to the article now. So let me put a quote. This is the one about the network that stood out for me. Can you see that?
Sorry, I don't understand. Sorry.
Take a look in the chat window. I'm just quoting from the article now.
Network info. Yeah.
So not only do you need to build your network, but the point is tell your network what you're doing. Yeah. Use your LinkedIn. This is for LinkedIn. Announce on your LinkedIn page that you're looking for a job, for example. Right? That's the whole purpose of these things. So build your network and keep them informed. So that was a do, the do column.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that the most important thing is that we have to think about the common behavior that people can have using internet when you are searching for a job. Not so, most of us, I think that we use Google is the most important place to find things. So if you appear in the first results of this searching, you appear in showing some bad pictures or some bad text speaking about you, is the worst way to find a job. No? So be careful that what kind of information you have online.
Yeah, that's so. You don't want your name to be linked to things that are going to detract from your brand or your online, your web presence, your reputation. So good advice, but it's not easy to do because everything we do is now saved and indexed. It's really hard to get away from. It's almost impossible.
But usually we only focus at the first results of the searching. So
the first page of results.
So try to have very good things about you in the first results. No, so try to and if you manage your in a good way your accounts in Twitter, Facebook or LinkedIn, I think that you will appear in the first results or the first pages will be good.
Yeah, no one has the energy to click page 2.
Yeah.
Right. Good point. Good point. Mr. Fabio, are you out there?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Fabio, what do you think would be? We haven't talked about Twitter. What do you think would be a good do in the column do for Twitter? What do you think? What's something that you think we should do to help build our brand in Twitter? Even if you haven't read the article, give me your personal opinion if you haven't read it.
Okay. So if, for instance, you work with trade, you should share information about it, maybe news about that, what happened in the last 5 minutes, so they can understand that you're aware of the situations. This would be a good thing to do.
So what was that about trade? Was that the word you used?
Yeah, I mean, if you are a graphic designer or if you are...
about the trade you're in, you mean?
No, I mean about your business, about
the trade. It's just because when you said trade, I thought you meant like trade between countries. But if you say the trade, it means your business, your area.
Yeah, I mean logistics or something related to that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And let's take something from the article. So here's an example from the article based on what you're saying, Fabio. Can you read it back to me?
Sure. Yeah. Follow the companies you would like to work for and put yourself on the radar by interacting with them. Oh, this is also a good point. Yeah. Should I read from the starting point where they talk about Twitter?
No. I picked out a little bit of text. I picked out a quote and I wrote it in the chat window. Can you see what I wrote?
Tweet about current affairs relating to the work you do. Oh, yeah, interesting.
So this is related to what you're saying, and I found that in the text. So one of the do's is to talk about the trade is give your opinion on what's going on in your business. Tweet about it. You're part of this group discussion, you know, that's happening out there, and the more you talk about it, I suppose, the more your name floats around and you get noticed. I don't know, it's not that obvious, but when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. There's a limited amount of Twitter users, so you've already cut out a huge amount of competition if you just have your name out there talking about things. Okay, very good. So that was a very good point, Fabio. Let's do this. I want you to comment on some job seeking. Give me a second here. I want you to give me a second. Here. First, I want you to let's see. How can we do this? This is not an article, just some interview questions, and afterwards some LinkedIn summaries. So we're going to just discuss these two things together. We're going to give comments about. Hold on, everyone. Just wait 1 second. Sorry about that, everyone. So we're going to start with some interview questions. You're going to read the answer and tell me what the question is that was being asked. And we're going to comment on the answers. And then we're going to comment on these LinkedIn summaries. Based on what you read in the article and what we've talked about, the do's and don'ts, we'll talk about what we think about these LinkedIn summaries, if they're helping or hurting. Then I want to turn it over to you. The article talked about cold calling. So I want you to try some cold calls where you have to basically brand yourself. But we'll talk about what a cold call is. But you're going to prepare a little kind of speech where you try to get a job, an unsolicited call where no one's asking you, but you make a good impression by calling them out of the blue. It's one of the techniques that was talked about. So let's get a little bit more vocabulary by taking a look over here. Let's see. I think, are we missing something here? Let's just read it and then talk about it. Let's just do it like that. So Mr. Mustafa, let's give you a chance because you've been kind of quiet. Are you out there, Mustafa?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Why don't you read the little introduction and the first paragraph for us about selling yourself. Interview questions, okay?
Okay.
So start from the beginning. Start from personal branding.
Personal branding expert Michael Brown works as a career coach and intercultural communication trainer in Europe, North America and North Africa. He blogs for Huffington Post.
This is Huffington.
Huffington Post as O'Brien Brown and write for international publications.
Right. So if you go to HuffingtonPost.com, you can see some of his columns. Okay. So take the first paragraph, Mustafa, for us. What does he say?
I should read the first paragraph, or
yes, please.
Okay. Your personal brand is your unique and special set of skills, talents, experience, and know-how that informs others about your qualities and expertise.
Expertise.
Perhaps your talents are language or mathematics, social media research or listening skills. Your brand is something real, something contained not only in your CV but also in your heart and soul. It is a tool that helps people remember who you are and what you can offer.
Okay, very good. And we're going to go back to this exercise in a second, and we're going to put back in the interview questions that relate to that information. We're going to read it first, though, so it's a little bit easier. So we'll come back to the slide in a second. Okay? Let's see. We need another reader here. So let's see who has it. So Giancarlo, can you take number 2 for us, please?
Yes. Number 2. A personal branding statement shows that you understand your own skills and talents, which means that you will be able to offer and use them for the benefit of those for whom you work. People like and are influenced by those who can talk with passion and confidence about the positive qualities. In a tough global marketplace, people have to stand out from the crowd to get noticed. If they can't brand themselves effectively, they will be passed over for those who can.
Oh, what does that mean? They'll be passed over.
Passed over is, I mean, similar to cross, to pass in front of them, to,
Yeah, to pass it. Like if you're in the supermarket line and someone passes in front of you, they go first. So, what does that mean in relation to getting a job?
For example, it is important that you show what you are, and the more talented and more maybe honest people can get the best opportunities because they are there to prove who they are, and they demonstrate themselves, and they demonstrate to the company that they are well prepared.
Not demonstrate, but show. They show the company that they're prepared. They show.
And the ones that show these abilities, they could get or may get the jobs. On the contrary, the people who don't show what they are, their abilities, they can't, or they are not going to be able to get a post.
Right. Or they're passed over.
Or they passed over. Exactly.
Right. They're passed over. Okay. Okay, good. We're going to come back to this in a second when we define the interview questions that people might ask you. And we're going to use those interview questions in the cold calling as well. Rebecca, do you think you could take number 3 for us on the right side?
Okay, number 3. Everybody, from students to assistants, from job seekers to I don't
Slow
know.
down. Exec.
Wow. Exec. Thank you. Every time we make a phone call, send an email, attend a meeting, or give a presentation, we are branding ourselves. And remember, if you just sit quietly in a meeting or conference call and say nothing because you are embarrassed about your English, you will...
Because you're embarrassed.
Embarrassed about your English, you will still be branding yourself as the quiet guy, or the one who never contributes, or that guy who never has anything to say. In other words, if you don't brand yourself, others will brand you, and it could be in a very negative way that can hurt your career.
Okay, so what's the main? This is really good advice, I think, Rebecca. What's the main idea here? that we might not think about otherwise? What's the main idea?
Well, this paragraph is saying it doesn't matter about your English. You must to try, to say something. I think
If you don't,
if you don't, your brand would be damaged.
well, your brand would be the person who never says anything.
Yeah,
In other words,
because you are showing your brand with your with yourself.
yeah. So basically, I think this is really good advice, because whether you're aware of it or not, you're branding yourself. So the trick is to be aware of it and to do it actively. Don't let your reputation happen because of things that are not in your control. Try to control it. And most people make the mistake that they're not really aware of how they come across. So they're thinking about it from their point of view, not from the other person's point of view of how they're perceived. I think it's a really important paragraph, actually.
Yeah, and John, I think that is the best, the same thing speaking about the internet. No?
Mm-hmm.
In this paragraph, it's explained in a meeting, but I think it's just the same. Speaking
Absolutely.
About
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So this is about a face-to-face meeting, but the same could be said if you have your LinkedIn page and you do nothing with it, like me. It's just sitting there. That sort of tells people that you're not doing anything, and that might not be true. So it might not be.
But that's not true. That's not true, because you every day are on the internet in Berlin. So if I think that if I put John Eric, you will appear in a lot of pages. Maybe
find out and tell me, because I'm too afraid to do it. Let's do the last paragraph, and then we're going to turn it over to you to do some branding, some self-branding. Okay? Let's give Vienna a chance. You're new. Vienna, can you take the last paragraph for us, number 4?
Okay. First, you need an interesting hook or opening to capture people's attention. For example, as a global expert in app
design.
Second, sometimes that show your experience. For almost 5 years, I have been designing apps for mid-sized and large international firms.
Mm-hmm. By the way, mid-sized.
Mid-sized.
Sized, with a D at the end.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Thirdly, mention your special skills and talent. Don't just say, I know Arabic and Farsi. Instead, say, I'm fluent in both Arabic and Farsi. People cringe when I say this, but it's okay to use an adjective like very good, superior, or even excellent. Don't be shy. Be proud.
Okay, so that was Vienna. Vienna, take a look in the chat window. Can you see the word that I just wrote?
Okay, wait.
In the chat window?
Okay, wait.
If you can't see it,
cringe.
Good. Cringe. Okay. To understand what cringe means, let me ask you a question. Why might people cringe if you use a word like, because they're saying people cringe when I say this. Why would people cringe when I use adjectives like superior or excellent? Why might people cringe if I do that, or we do that?
I think because they don't have confidence. I don't know what to say.
Confidence. Right.
Confidence.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's why they might cringe. So that helps us understand what cringe is as well. So if we define it, I'll put a little definition. This is just a Google definition, but it's okay. Can you see the definition there in the chat window, Diana?
Yes. Define bends one's head and body in fears or apprehension.
Yeah.
Or in a servile manner.
Right. So if I cringe, I do something like this. Right? I'm sort of cringing away. So here it's being used metaphorically, though. We cringe, like look away, because we are embarrassed by those words. But the author is telling us that it's part of branding. It's something you must do. Even if it seems embarrassing to you, it's necessary because nobody knows you. You just have to do it in the right way. I think that's the trick. If I go back here to the previous page for a second,
okay.
I want you to reorder the words to make the interview questions that relate to each paragraph we just read. Let's just to clarify what information is that we're getting. Okay? So, Mikko, why don't you take the first one for us? What's the question being asked, and what paragraph does it relate to?
It's personally important. But we have to reorder the
You got to reorder it, yeah.
It's personal. Why is important personal branding?
Not exactly. Almost. Why is you cannot put the adjective after the verb is.
Why is personal branding important?
Correct. There's the answer in the chat window. Why is personal branding important? And that relates to paragraph which?
What was the? I can see. So it was. It's the third one.
The third one? Are you sure? Why the third one?
The third one.
Why that one? Why the third? What is it in the text that makes you think it's the third?
It's speaking about personal branding, no?
The third one? To me, the second one is about personal branding. Number two starts with a personal branding statement that shows you understand.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the second paragraph says it, and it's all about personal branding. So I would say paragraph 2 for that. Mr. Jose, what do you think about the second? Can you reword the second one for us?
What should be included in a statement branding?
In a branding.
In a branding statement.
Statement.
A statement.
Okay.
A statement.
That's exactly right. And that relates to paragraph.
Related with paragraph 2.
With paragraph 2? We already did paragraph 2. Can't be paragraph 2.
A personal branding statement shows that you understand your own skills. It's related with paragraph 2, no?
No, that was the first question. Why is personal branding important?
Okay. Sorry.
But this is. Remember, the question you said is what should be included, not why, but
okay,
what.
Okay.
Pass? Or do you have it?
Number 3?
Class?
Oh, no, number 1.
The first one, no?
The first one, John.
I think it's the fourth.
The fourth?
Yeah. Look at the question again. I wrote what you said. What should be included? Well, a hook should be included. Right? Look at the fourth paragraph. A hook should be included. What else should be included besides the hook? Special skills should be included.
Special skills, yes. You have to engage the job seekers.
You have to engage them with So to answer that question, what should be included? Well, paragraph 4 is basically a list of things, basically.
Yes.
So it fits much better because it's a what, not a why, a what. All right. Let's go.
Essential skills and talents. Okay.
Good. Let's see. Let's go to Mr. Mustafa. What should the third one read as? Can you rearrange the third one for us?
What personal is branding?
Almost. You need the verb first, though. It's a question. The verb's got to come first.
What is
right?
Personal branding.
What is personal branding? Good. Okay, and that matches with which paragraph?
The first one.
Correct. 100% right. The first one is a definition of personal branding. Personal branding is your unique set of special skills, talents to inform others about your qualities or expertise. That's it. So that matches with the first. The first is a definition. Okay, excellent. Very good. One last one. Let's go back here. Okay, and I'm going to ask Fabio if you could do the fourth one for us.
It's a bit tricky, this one, but I believe is who needs?
Yeah, good.
Who needs personal branding?
Who needs personal branding? Oh, you've got a verb there. Don't forget your second verb.
Oh yeah, make, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who needs to make?
Good.
A personal branding statement.
Excellent.
Okay.
And that can only match with paragraph 3. That's the only one left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And can you see why it matches with paragraph 3? What word in paragraph 3 shows you that that is the only match? Remember, the question is who?
Yeah, who need? Okay. Yeah.
And the answer is who needs it?
Who needs? Yeah.
Yeah.
If a person is shy, you definitely the person definitely needs to make a statement about who he really is. You know, otherwise the person would be considered as the quiet guy or the one who never contributes.
Right. And in fact, the first word of the paragraph answers the question. Who needs it? Everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Students
Okay.
to assist. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So for those of you who read the article, then you've got a little bit, you might remember the part about cold calling. I want to try that cold calling ourselves, actually. I want to give you a chance to try it out. Maybe what we ought to do is just look at one of these, just one, because I want to give you a chance to try some cold calling. So let's just take a look at one and just ask as a group what your opinion is. Because let's take this advice in the selling yourself part from Michael Brown. Let's take his advice and try to use it to create some cold calls ourselves. We'll talk about how to do that in a second, but let's look at some summaries on LinkedIn and decide maybe just one and see, does it follow his advice? Let's try to see if we think it's on the mark or not. So let's see. Rebecca, can you read the first summary for us and give us your opinion?
Well, okay. The first one, I high energy, high stamina, communicator with communicator
Good.
with extensive experience. A strong leader with ability to direct staff in the delivery of complex operations and programs.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now, what do you like or dislike about this?
A high energy, well, it's like finding a strong person with a strong character, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
To lead people. I think it's like for a manager, something like that.
Could be. So what do you like or what do you dislike about this summary? Does it follow the advice given by Michael Brown? Does it sound good to you?
Yeah, a high energy. Yeah, you know, person. I don't know what means stamina. Stamina.
Stamina. Class. If I have a lot of stamina, am I going to be able to work for a long time or only work for a short time? Class, what do you think?
Long time.
A long time. A lot of energy.
What kind of job is a high stamina job?
High stamina job is a person who has the power and the resistance to do it. I mean.
What kind of job would that person do? What's a high stamina occupation?
English teacher.
No. A manager? Maybe. I was going to say like a stockbroker. You know, they've got to be watching. You know, stocks are changing from 1 second to the next, and they're buying, selling, and it's like really intense, right? That's what comes to my mind. Being an English teacher, it's just a lot of hours. I don't know if it takes stamina. Maybe it's a lot of hours. Maybe we should take one more, and again, you tell me what you like or dislike about it. So, Giancarlo.
Wait, can I say something? I don't like it.
Yeah, go for it.
Always, you know, is with extensive experience.
Right.
Sometimes people is very good at doing the thing they are, you know,
applying for.
Yeah. But of course, they didn't have the chance to do it yet, so they don't have a extensive experience, you know. So I think it's not fair.
So, do you think it means anything to say high stamina communicator with extensive experience? Do you think that's
they are looking for a person at least over than 40 years, you know? Otherwise, you can have extensive experience.
Well, this was written by a job seeker, not by a company. So this is written by you on your LinkedIn page. And the question is, do you think it represents you? Do you think it sounds good or not, really?
Okay.
I think you got a good point. I think you're right. I think some of these terms don't mean anything. And yet, they sound good, and everyone says them. So,
but it's quite arrogant, no?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think that it would be arrogant if you were, if you presented yourself in the wrong way. But on your LinkedIn page, I wouldn't write this. I don't think. But I don't think it sounds arrogant if it's there as your advertisement. But tell me, why do you think it sounds arrogant? Maybe you got a point, Miko.
I think for me, this kind of adjectives, strong leader, high. I don't know. If you have to summarize something only using this kind of adjectives, maybe if you are looking for a high-level job, could be a good way to show your skills. But maybe for most of the jobs, I think that it could be quite arrogant.
Well, let's mitigate the arrogance. Let's try to. I think the point is that in English it sounds pretty good the way it's written, pretty good, but you need a context so that it doesn't sound arrogant. So if you can back up these claims with actual concrete achievements, then it might work.
Yeah, maybe. You need to show some concrete dates or some concrete experience, no, to say this or to summarize all your
I think so.
Your profile or.
And there's another choice that comes to my mind. Another option is that instead of saying it about yourself, quote someone saying it about you. So it lets you be arrogant without sounding arrogant. My previous employer described me as a high energy. I have been described as a high energy, high stamina communicator. Well, you're not bragging there because it's not your words, and it could work. So I understand what you mean, because I wouldn't write it like this either. But I think if you do it right, it grabs people's attention. And if you do it the right way, it won't sound arrogant. Well, let's spend the rest of the class trying it out ourselves, okay? What I want you to do is to try a cold call the way the article suggests and to follow the advice that you read from Michael Brown to prepare a statement like the ones you've just read. Giancarlo, you read the article. What is a cold call that the article talks about? Do you remember?
I think so. A cold call is to be in contact with the companies or enterprises you are interested in, and in time to time you should contact them. I mean, call them and tell them what you are and what your values are and your capacity. I mean, your the schooling that you have. I mean, in a certain way, a cold call is to brand yourself in a positive way, because through this call you are going to say, or you are going to tell them who you are.
Let me put a definition that I got from the article. Can you see what I wrote?
Yes. Cold calling, phoning potential employers to see whether they have jobs available.
In other words, everything you said is fine. It's true. But the context is they're not calling you. You're calling them. You're calling them unsolicitedly. They've never asked you for your CV. So you're just calling up and saying you're available. So to do that, if you have a good cold call script that you've prepared, you might be surprised about what you're able to get out of it. Maybe you won't get a job, but maybe very soon down the line, you're going to stand out, right? So that's kind of what they're talking about.
Yes, and of course this line is very positive, John, because most of the people are a little bit passive, talking about looking for jobs, and sometimes, or most of the time, we wait until the company calls back, but here this line represents that. Why don't you call them? Why don't you ask for a job or for an opportunity? Because if you are well trained, you have the possibility to be there having a post.
Yep. And like I said, even if it doesn't work right away, you're kind of on their radar. Remember that expression from earlier? You're kind of on their radar now. In fact, if we go back to the article, just quickly, let's just take a look at that part where they talk about cold calling. It says, cold calling in the second paragraph. In the middle of the paragraph, start by listening to 20 to 50 companies. Hold on a second. Cold calling is not for everyone, yet it can lead to employment if you do it right, according to career coach Marty Nemko. Start by listing 20 to 50 companies you would like to work for. Then call after hours to leave a voice message with someone who has the power to hire you. Introducing yourself, saying that you will email them your covering letter and CV. If you haven't heard back, call again during office hours. Then it gives advice. Don't worry about sounding stupid or making mistakes. Just write a little script. Read it on the phone. You can practice. So that's what I want us to do right now. I want to give you a chance to try that and hone your English skills to brand yourself as if you're going to make a cold call. And then your homework is go out there and do it.
It's very dangerous.
Dangerous, but if you don't risk it, what are you going to get?
But you can create a bad reputation of you, because you seem as a pain person or a phone spammer, more or less.
Okay, maybe. I would say that you might run the risk of sounding desperate if you don't do it well.
Yeah.
But a spammer, I don't know. I mean, if you keep calling and calling, sure. But my point is this. I think it's a good idea. I actually think it's not a bad idea at all. If you present yourself eloquently, that means that you've prepared it before, And you know, there's a saying that all publicity is good publicity. Even if they see you even if they're puzzled why you're contacting them, you're there. It would be less difficult to look at your CV and see that you're not a spammer than it would be to not know about you and try to pick you out of a huge pile of CVs. I don't think it's a bad idea if you do it right. Anyway, let's try it. I'd like you to actually cold call someone, make a little statement similar to the one that you just read. I can put them back on the screen for you to take a look at, and let's see how it sounds. Then the rest of the class, you're going to give your reaction to this. So let's put these back on the screen to give you a little bit of inspiration. And maybe we have time to do 2 or 3 quick cold calls. Don't worry about being perfect, just get the basic idea across. Okay? And for those of you who've read it, if you've already prepared your cold call, then go first. Okay? So anyone ready with a cold call script? You are, Giancarlo? Excellent. Thank you for volunteering. We're going to be the ones judging you, okay? But we're going to give you a break, so don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
So go for it, Giancarlo. The phone rings. The answering machine starts. We're not available right now. Please leave your name and number, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And what do you say, Giancarlo?
Good morning. My name is Giancarlo. I'd like to know more about your company, but first, I would like to know if you are hiring now people, because I am totally interested in the post you are offering, because I know that your company is one of the best in my country. So I want to get an opportunity, and I would like to send you my CV, my papers, my personal information, if you give me the chance to do it.
Okay, good. Okay, class, what do you think about this cold call? It's a really good start, actually. What do you think? Feedback.
He did very well, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good start.
You have choice a very good volunteer.
But give him some feedback. Now, does he follow Michael Brown's advice? Remember paragraph 4? What did Michael Brown say we needed? We needed what? Take a quick look at paragraph 4, everyone. What's the first thing we need, according to Michael Brown?
A hook.
A hook.
An opening.
What's your hook?
Attention.
Your special skills and talents too.
That too, yeah. What's your hook? Right now, Giancarlo, your hook was, I know you're hiring. I want to know if you're hiring. So, I think you could have a better hook.
Okay.
Hook. Sorry, what is hook? Hook. H-W-O-K. Okay.
In the first sentence of paragraph 4, H-O-O-K. Giancarlo, what is a hook? Let's define it.
A hook is like something that gets people's attention. It's something really relevant.
I think that Joneric has a good hook in every class. Hello to everyone.
That's because I have a lack of imagination. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, when you're fishing, Rebecca, you have a hook, and the hook has bait, and the fish grab the bait, and then they get hooked on the hook.
Okay.
So
Excuse me, John.
Yeah.
A good hook could be a good hook for me. In my case, could be. I've worked for one of the best hotels in Mexico. I have experience dealing with international people and giving them service, customer service, or something like that.
It sounds 100% better than the way you started before. Absolutely. I think it's a good hook. Maybe you could say, so what was your position in the hotel?
I was working as a butler's coordinator, and I was working as front desk.
Front desk, and what coordinator?
Butler.
Bottler? What does that mean?
Butler is like assistant, the guest assistant, a guest assistant.
Oh, butler. Got it. I was hearing bottle. Butler assistant.
Butler assistant. Yeah.
Okay, so look, let's take that as a quick example. We have to stop soon, but let's take that as an example before we go. And if you go back to these, look at the adjectives here. How about this? I'm a self-motivated and highly experienced butler's assistant and front desk coordinator with an extensive background in interpersonal skills and customer relations. I'm just grabbing a few descriptive words and just adding them to your positions. Something like that, a succinct opening, might be a really good hook, and then you can go on from there and say, I'm highly motivated to be part of your company, as I know it's one of the best in the country, and I'd like to offer you my CV and covering letter, or something like that. The only thing I would say, Giancarlo, is don't give them the choice to say no. Just say, how can I get you? Who can I send my CV and covering letter to? Don't ask them if they want it, because they'll say no.
Yes, you're right. Yes. Pickable. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. I want to give all of you the chance to do this, so I'm going to give you the weekend to do it. On Monday, come back, give us your cold call statement. Use the vocabulary that you've picked up in this presentation and in the text. Take Michael Brown's advice, okay? And come in on Monday and let's all try it out, okay? Fabio, I have another class. That's the only problem. But I'll tell you what. If you want to send it to me, if you want to write it and send it in the chat window, not the class chat, but the Verbling chat, I can also correct it and send it back to you, okay? Otherwise, you can do it Monday live, and you can do it next Wednesday live. No matter what we're doing, we'll take a minute and we'll practice them. Okay?
Okay.
So, sorry, I've got to start the next class now, but I'll definitely give you time to do it on Monday and Wednesday in the next Business Basics class. Okay? Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you
Thank you.
at 10 p.m.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, thanks.